What's up, guys? This is Jennifer Han, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yesterday, I weighed in at 235.4 pounds. This morning, I weighed in at 235.1 pounds. So that's a daily loss of 0.3 pounds for the day. Yesterday, I had 1,580 calories and 181 grams of protein. So I'm still on my calorie goal, my protein goal. Everything's working out on the diet end. Today's topic I wanted to talk about was tracking calories. I know a lot of people think it's like a huge pain to track calories, but however, I think it's very important that you guys actually do track your calories, especially in the beginning, just to get an idea of what you're actually putting into your body. So, for example, you know, there's two opposite ends of the spectrum. On one end, if you don't track your calories, you could be overeating. But then on the other end of the spectrum, if you don't track your calories, you can severely undereat as well. I've had issues with both in my past, and the only way to hold me accountable is to track calories, because ultimately it comes down to science. You need to be in a slight calorie deficit in order to lose weight. um, I know people, cut out certain macros like carbs and fats or limit certain things. So really, you're doing that. Like, let's say it's like keto diet, carnivore, things of that nature. By cutting out all those carbs, you're kind of naturally putting yourself in a calorie deficit. But I don't like to restrict any foods. I just like to stay in a simple 500 calorie deficit a day, and that's it. Like I said, I have a certain protein goal I want to hit, but other than that, you know, some days I eat rice, some days I eat avocado, which is higher in fat. It just depends on the day and what I'm in the mood for. Because if I overly restrict myself, I know that's going to be an issue later on, and I'm going to overeat more than likely. Um, but as far as tracking your calories, I know obviously I'm overweight because I didn't track anything and I've been overeating for a long period of time. But anytime I've went on diets in the past and I try to eat intuitively, because I'm like, oh, are you really hungry? Are you really hungry? Do you really need to eat right now? In my mind, I'm like, well, you're fat. You really don't need to eat at all. So I would just kind of super restrict my calories. And so I know that there's been times in my past where when I've went back and actually tracked the calories for that day, I've only eaten like 800 calories in a day. And that's obviously severely unhealthy. That's not even enough to keep up with your basal metabolic rate. So, like I said, so I know I need to stay around 1600 calories in order to be in a 500 calorie deficit. So I try to hit that within, you know, 50 to 100 calories. I give myself a little bit of range, but ultimately 1600 calories is my goal. But I make sure I hit that every day because, for example, with me, I'm not hungry in the morning. I don't eat my first meal until around 11 a.m. or 12. So, with me not eating until late, and especially like when I have to go to work and I'm busy at work for 8 hours a day, I need to find time to get my calories in. I need to make sure I'm eating large enough meals to be able to sustain my calorie goal. Because to me, if I just went intuitively, my mind would start playing tricks on me. And I know that I would start to tell myself, oh, you're not hungry. Oh, you can wait. And I know I would severely undereat when I'm trying to lose weight. But as long as I just use plain simple science, I make sure to stay in a 500 calorie deficit because that will lead to a pound of weight loss a week. And other than that, with my other fitness and activity, you don't really burn as many calories, unfortunately, as what you think that you are. Like when you're doing, fitness activities, cardio, weightlifting, whatever, you're not burning as much as you think. You may be sore and you may be winded afterwards, but the saying is you can't out train a bad diet. So I just make sure my diet's on point every day. And then any other extra calories I burn through fitness is just an added bonus. So right now, since most of my like water weight I lost within the first week, because today's day 11, so most of the water weight's gone. My weight loss is fluctuating in between like 0.2 and 0.4 pounds a day. On average, that's going to be a little bit over a pound of weight loss a week. So that shows, my calorie deficit's in the right range, and then any extra weight that I'm losing is coming from my fitness and activity. So yeah, definitely holding myself accountable there. And something else, I know a lot of people have asked like what my step count is for the day. I don't count steps. I like to go by time more than step count. So I know I walk for at least an hour a day. Every day I walk to the gym and from the gym 30 minutes each way. So it's an hour. And that's just at minimum. That's not including, walking at work and, just everyday life. So my goal is, as far as walking goes, is to up my time like a little bit, like every month, if that makes sense. So like right now I'm walking for an hour a day. So when I begin month 2 of this journey, I'm going to try to squeeze an extra 20 minutes in somewhere. Do that for a month. The following month, squeeze an extra 20 minutes in, and so on and so forth. Because with me, like, I'm such a nerd and I'm just so focused on numbers all the time. So it's like, let's say that you hit 10,000 steps a day. I know in my mind, let's say that I just had a slow day for whatever reason, and I know, like, let's say at the end of the day, it was just, I hit 9,500 steps. I know I'd be pacing around my house until I got 10,000 steps in. And to me, that's not really, for me personally, that's not a healthy mindset to be in. I don't really want to track it because I don't want to become so obsessed over an arbitrary number. Like, if I'm walking the same amount of time every day and then slowly increasing that over time, obviously I'm going in the right direction. So yeah, I don't count steps. One thing with me, like I've mentioned before, I've recently just switched career paths. And at my old job, I was in a factory and on my feet for 8 hours a day. So back when I used to track steps, I know just 8 hours at work, I'd get a little bit over 12,000 steps in on average, just while I was at work. So with this job, it's not as active as what my last job was. So I think to kind of like compensate for that, on my off days, I'm just going to go on an extra hour walk a day each day to help, compensate some of that. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to make up for it entirely, but to me, it's a healthy balance. So I think that that's it for the day. Just want to talk about calorie deficit and the importance of tracking your calories and steps. So, yep, 500 calorie deficit, add some fitness, walk for an hour a day, slowly increase that time every month, and we'll see where this journey goes. But once again, thank you everybody for returning back to my channel. I appreciate it. If you're new here, welcome. This is my journey to lose 100 pounds. We're down almost 7 pounds right now on day 11, so happy with that. Great progress. But please remember to like the video, and please continue to follow me along in this journey. And I guess I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.